So, ladies and gentlemen, we are just commencing part two of the OKC versus San Antonio rivalry to be. This is a rivalry to be. And when I watch these two teams play, it reminds me of back in the 1999 all the way to 2010 seasons in the NBA. Through those 11, 12 seasons, there were only three teams out of the West to go to the NBA Finals. And it was the San Antonio Spurs, the Los Angeles Lakers, and 1 year of the Dallas Mavericks. From 99 to 2005, Lakers Spurs. '06 you have Dallas, and then from '07 to 2010, it's Lakers Spurs. That's how I feel the next 7 years of OKC and San Antonio is going to be. I think both of these teams have handled their rebuilds extremely well. We are going to look at both of these teams 15 to 20 years down the line and say they have sustained a level of excellence for throughout the course of 15 plus years. The Oklahoma City Thunder are on pace to have a historic season. Yeah, they might not win 74 games, but they can probably win 65 to 69 again, just like they did last year, and while also possibly getting a top 5 pick. The San Antonio Spurs drafted someone that has GOAT projection, and they have a point guard coming off their bench who I think can be a top 10 player in basketball. So when you watch these, just get ready. You're going to be watching a lot of these matchups. And the San Antonio Spurs are 0-2, are 2-0 against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I just really hope we don't wake up on December 26th and say, wow, the San Antonio Spurs have beaten the Thunder 3 straight times. And this was a team that we thought could not be beaten. And we found a weakness to this Oklahoma City Thunder defense. And shout out to my guy, Real Talk. Real Talk was on Twitter. He said, this is now the second time the San Antonio Spurs have had a better defense while this all-time defense was on the floor with them. And no matter how good a team is, no matter how good a scheme is, no matter how good a philosophy is, there's a weakness to it. That's one of the best things about basketball. It's one of the best things about basketball. Early last season, we thought the Boston Celtics could be unbeatable because they had this three-point shooting. They had this three-point shooting margin that they won on so consistently, so drastically, that we just thought this team could be beaten. And then we find a weakness. We find out that shot variance is very important when you're taking three-pointers. That's why you find yourself down 0-2 to the New York Knicks. And with this Oklahoma City Thunder defense, the defense that thrives so much in chaos found an offense that can thrive in chaos. And the writing was on the wall in the NBA Finals. The Indiana Pacers were a team that got out and ran, had multiple ball handlers, multiple guys that can play in pick and roll, and multiple guys that can get within the teeth of the defense. And now you get to a San Antonio Spurs team that has all of that plus the athleticism. They have a 3-guard rotation of athletes. Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, and De'Aaron Fox. And this was kind of the thought process I had with the Lakers last year against OKC. The Lakers having multiple players that can play in pick and roll and be head initiators for an offense, but they didn't nearly have the athleticism that the San Antonio Spurs team has. This is the second game where Stephon Castle has thrived against OKC, the second game where De'Aaron Fox has thrived against OKC, and I'm even going to say Dylan Harper thrived in this game because, yes, Dylan Harper only had about, what did he have? Dylan Harper had 4 points. He shot 3 shots. Dylan Harper shot 3 shots, but he got 10 assists and 5 steals. And we're going to talk about how this San Antonio Spurs team is a tough matchup. This might be the toughest matchup for OKC in the playoffs. So I want to look at some of the matchups that this San Antonio Spurs team provided to OKC and some of the OKC provided to San Antonio. One, I talked about this on TikTok. If you guys follow me on TikTok, you guys probably know I don't think J-Dub should be guarding Victor Wembanyama anymore. I don't think so. Victor Wembanyama is shooting 63% on all jump shots against OKC this season. Why is that? Why is that? Can anybody give me a guess? First off, before you even give me a guess, go look up how tall Jalen Williams is. Go look up how tall Victor Wembanyama is. If you don't notice it on the court, the numbers will back me up when I'm saying this. When you find out that you have a defense like OKC that forced turnovers so much and forced chaos so much to ball handlers, even guards, maybe it's smart to not have your 7'4" center dribble as much. So we're going to get the ball to him in the middle. We're going to get the ball to him in the post. He's just going to shoot over Jalen Williams, and he shot 63% on all jump shots. Now, there are multiple jump shots where he just has an open jump shot where he knocks it down or he may miss, but the over-the-top shot making for Victor Wembanyama has been really good, and it's not like he's getting much of a contest. And that just leads me to believe that this San Antonio Spurs team is the toughest matchup for OKC. They're the toughest matchup because OKC thrive on having speed on the perimeter. OKC thrive on having athletes on the perimeter. OKC thrive on playing gaps, recovering, and stopping a defense in the tracks before they can create dribble penetration, before they can get clean looks off. But how do you fight that? You fight fire with fire. You fight athleticism with athleticism. If you're going to play the gaps, we're going to have 3 guys on the floor that are extremely athletic and can get to the rim whenever they want to, and that's how San Antonio have been winning these games. The San Antonio Spurs shot 44% from 3 last night. 44%. Keldon Johnson had 25 off the bench. These guys got hot, especially in the fourth quarter. They got really hot in the fourth quarter. And shout out to Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper shot 3 shots, like I said, but he had 10 assists. 10 assists. A lot of it was getting into the teeth of the defense. A lot of it was playing really good defense. He had a really good possession against J-Dub late in the shot clock where he just locked him up one-on-one. And that's where I feel as though a lot of people don't look at Dylan Harper's game, the defensive side of the floor. I truly believe that at Dylan Harper's peak, at the peak of Dylan Harper's powers, he's going to be an all-NBA offensive guard while still being a positive on the defensive side. And that is extremely valuable for what San Antonio is trying to do in the future. De'Aaron Fox consistently got wherever he wanted in this game. Stephon Castle being the physical, athletic shot maker that he is. He was amazing in this game. He shot 4 for 6 on threes as well. It's just really hard to keep a defense moving and expect them to play a 48-minute game at an extremely fast pace. At some point, those rotations are going to break down. At some point, their rotations are going to break down. I don't know how good, I don't care how good your defense is. At some point, those rotations are going to break down. And it's going to be very interesting to see how OKC combat this on Christmas Day. That's going to be a hell of a game. This isn't going to be too much of a long video just because they play again on Christmas. So we're going to cover that game as well. But I want to talk about Chet and J-Dub because they have not been great in these 2 games. J-Dub has been coming along a little bit slower from the injury. Chet has been really good this season, but I'm not going to lie, man. This isn't even on the court. Like, this is on the court, but it's not really on the court. Chet, bro. I need you to fight Wemby. I need you to fight Wemby. And this is not physically fighting him. This is just go back at him. We all saw the possession where Victor Wembanyama shoved Chet to the floor and he fell. And after the whistle, he windmilled the dunk. That's disrespect. That's disrespect. Chet, you are an NBA champion. You are an NBA champion. You are the anchor of one of the greatest defenses of all time. Stop letting Wemby share the floor with you and bully you like this. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Chet is way too good at basketball to be letting Wemby do him like this. Way too good. He was just getting beat up all over the floor. There's a couple times he got hit in the face. He gets knocked over by Wemby. Wemby goes and windmills it. Chet, tell Dagnall, look, I'm guarding him. I'm guarding him. I'm guarding him. I'm guarding him. Chet is more than capable of giving some fits to Victor Wembanyama. Like I said, he's not going to lock Victor Wembanyama up. There's not a lot of people that can lock Victor Wembanyama up. But Chet has enough help around him to where he can guard Victor Wembanyama, get some turnovers, and get some timely stops. Get Chet on Victor Wembanyama. As for Jalen Williams, it just seems like a lot of the stuff he was doing in the NBA Finals has started to go away. Like towards the end of the NBA Finals, he was creating a lot more rim pressure, finding ways to get to the rim more effectively. And versus this athleticism on the defensive side of the floor and having Victor Wembanyama on the floor, it just looks like all that stuff has been taken away. And this is what I mean by OKC not having a better defense than San Antonio both times they were on the floor, is because OKC, even though they had a pretty good shooting game today, they're liable to go cold, like in the fourth quarter. Or let's take a look. Let's take a look actually. And before I get out of here, De'Aaron Fox, my bad, bro. My bad. For those who know me, those who watch me on PC back when I was on PC, those who watch me on the Hoop Talk podcast, know I've been very vocal on Dylan Harper should be prioritized over De'Aaron Fox. And I've been pushing that agenda as if those two can't play together. And that is where I feel like I was wrong. I feel as though if you're going to commit, commit. Dylan Harper, I believe, is good enough for the San Antonio Spurs to continue trying to win now while also building for the future. Especially because he does not have to start. You have an all-star point guard, top 10, 11, whatever you want, point guard in basketball in that starting position, and he relieves so much pressure on Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper can come in and just win on the margins. That's what he did tonight. That's what he did tonight. He had a great game, and it was just on the margins. All right, I'm going to create rim pressure, and I'm going to kick out some threes. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. As a matter of fact, hold on. This is assist number 2. Simple action. Simple action. You're going to put a floor spacer in the corner. You're going to put Wemby at the high elbow. You also got Harrison Barnes at the high elbow. This is a simple give and go, dribble handoff. Isaiah Hartenstein, the second he helps off Keldon Johnson, boom. We got a wide open 3. That's his first assist. Basically off rim pressure. Here's a pick and roll with Victor Wembanyama, where the Thunder, I think this is just a bad coverage. I mean, well, it's not terrible coverage because in the end of the day, you put the wing on Wemby so Chet can be the lone rim protector if Wemby gets downhill. So I don't hate it by sending bodies at Dylan Harper. But again, he's not the primary point guard. That's De'Aaron Fox. So he doesn't have to worry about the scoring. He doesn't have to worry about the shooting, all that stuff. He can just make the right play. They blitz him. It's instantly, as soon as he reads the blitz. Okay, let me just get it to the 7'4" behemoth. It's that easy. It's not that hard. Get it to him. As soon as they send 2 bodies, get it to him. Get it to him. Because now, you got a 4-on-3. But instead, Wemby's just going to be ridiculous. That's what he's going to do. And again, that's where I just feel like having the most valuable player possession by possession is going to help you in basketball. I believe Victor Wembanyama is the most valuable player in basketball by possession. Possession by possession. Whether it's on the defensive end where he's valuable every second he's on the floor, or the offensive end where he can be a safety blanket for Dylan Harper. And I talked about this on the Hoop Talk podcast. When you have a young point guard, it's really important to have someone he can learn under and have safety blankets. Safety blankets are 3-point shooters, lob threats, pick and roll candidates, other guys that can attack off the dribble on slanted defenses. Dylan Harper has all of that. So while De'Aaron Fox is worried about being the point guard for this team, Dylan Harper can have an extremely good game with 2 points, 4 points. How much he had? He shot 3 shots. He can win on the margins for 48 minutes and have a fantastic game. And when it's time for him to start, whenever that time comes, he's going to be more than ready. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be back on the 26th to break down part 3 of this OKC versus San Antonio thing. We get 5 of these this year, which is going to be extremely fun. I cannot wait for OKC versus Denver. Hopefully Denver is healthy. Okay, so I'm back after the Christmas game. This is December 26th, the day after Christmas and NBA Christmas. I'm going to do a couple of videos about the games that we saw, some of the takeaways that I have, but I just wanted to address this because I already had 13-minute video recorded about the last game they had played, and something told me not to post it because they were going to play each other again in 2 days, and I was going to see, I'm in my head, I'm like, you know what, OKC lost in the NBA Cup game. Okay, it happens. They lose against San Antonio again. I'm like, okay, this is kind of sketchy. And now they lose again. And this is where I feel as though OKC looks really soft. OKC has never seen a team that can match their athleticism on the perimeter and match their physicality. OKC is so used to, ever since they've been championship level team, they've been so used to being more athletic, more physical, and being able to beat you up. And now they're getting beat up. Now they're getting beat up. Shea's getting beat up. Chet's getting beat up down there. Chet is getting beat up down there by Wemby, and it looks terrible. It looks terrible. In the second half of that game, the Oklahoma City Thunder shot 5 for 26 from three. 5 for 26, and they shot 14 of 47 in field goals in general. They shot 30% from the field and 19% from three. And again, it's like the tale of two halves. You know, you see Luke Cornett in the game, somebody who's not as mobile, somebody who is a good rim protector, but isn't as mobile around the floor, somebody that should be a backup center. And there's nothing wrong with that. OKC took advantage. They were taking advantage of him in drop coverage. They were getting their lobs. It's the same story every single game until Victor Wembanyama walks in. Victor Wembanyama walks in and he takes away the paint in its entirety. And we can look at a game where Victor Wembanyama doesn't have this spectacular stat line performance. He doesn't have that 27, 12, and 4 that we're used to. He has a game where he has 11 points, and he's still the most impactful player on the floor. And that's what would lead me to say that Victor Wembanyama is the most impactful player per possession in the entire NBA. Per possession, by a per possession standpoint, Victor Wembanyama is the most impactful player in basketball because he takes away the rim so effortlessly and is also a really good rebounder. Is also somebody that can get on the offensive glass and get to the free throw line. Somebody that can have a really good shot making day. He is the most impactful player per possession in basketball. And I was gonna say like OKC is letting these young guys come in there and punk them, but it's like OKC's young too. Like OKC's young too. Like they're the defending champions, but they're one of the youngest teams in basketball. And San Antonio's coming here and it's just like it's a pure hatred. They don't like each other. They don't like each other. And I love that. De'Aaron Fox does not like them at all. Wemby does not like him at all. Stephon Castle does not like him at all. Shea don't like San Antonio, but Shea by himself. Shea is by himself. And this is a message I have for Chet Holmgren. Chet, my man, you're not this bad, bro. You are not this bad. You are a fantastic basketball player. Fantastic basketball player. You are talented enough to go back at Wemby. You are talented enough. There's no way Wemby should have you out of your element like this. No way. You are a champion. You were the best defender in the playoffs last year. You were a key contributor to a championship team. All-star potential. Probably going to be an all-star this year. Go back at Wemby, bro. He is bullying you. Every time he see you. Every time he see you, bro. No, Lou Dort, J-Dub, Caruso, they not going to help you, bro. You got to fight back. You got to fight back. And I'm not going to be too analytical in this part of the video just because there's not really much more we can see. Like, we know what the issue is. OKC has never faced a team with this much athleticism, speed, and physicality. They're usually the team. Like, OKC is usually the team. Like, OKC, they'll probably face a couple of athletic perimeter players, but there's not a team that has this much collection of athleticism to where they can combat OKC's athleticism. And it's a culture shock right now. It's a shock. You know, they usually play that scramble type of defense where they're fast enough to recover. But what if you got to recover on De'Aaron Fox? What if you got to recover on Stephon Castle? What if you got to recover on Dylan Harper? Even Devin Vassell? Chaos is not going to win you this game. It's not going to win you this game. You got to win your matchups one-on-one, Playboy. You got to win them. You got to win your matchups one-on-one because the difference between the San Antonio Spurs and the Oklahoma City Thunder is the Spurs have all this athleticism and they have a 7'4" behemoth they can toss the ball down to. Y'all don't have that. Chet's great, but he ain't no Wemby. Y'all can't just toss it down to Chet and be like, yo, Chet, save us. It's just what it is. That's just what it is. So OKC have to figure something out. And again, I said this before the season even started. They got to bring in some shooting. They have to bring in some shooting. They have to. Make a call. It don't even got to be nothing crazy. To be honest, all of these moves are easy. Brooklyn would love to take 2 first-round picks. The Pelicans would love to take 2 first-round picks for Trey Murphy, for a Michael Porter Jr. Y'all can make the deal. Go do it. I said this last year. I said this last year at the deadline. Yeah, OKC is still the best team in the league. Yeah, OKC is probably going to win a championship. But down the line, it's going to bite them in the butt if they don't go get a three-point shooter, a consistent one. Somebody that can light you up from three. Somebody that can go off for 25, 28 points in a postseason game just because they got hot from three. OKC need that. Because that physicality and athleticism and turnover shit, that's not going to work against San Antonio. It's not. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys like this type of content, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at @thebuzzersports_. Make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at ATBSports1. And make sure you guys follow me on TikTok at @thebuzzerENT. And with all that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.